Cops' Tops is, on the one hand, a good story. On the other, it kind of ruined what would have otherwise been a really beautiful message. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure how they could have stuck with the classic Popeye setup and also have a more positive outcome. And I will discuss what I mean by that. So there will be spoilers in this discussion. This is the 1955 Popeye cartoon directed by Izzy Sparber and Thomas Johnson. It's written by Carl Mayer with a voice cast including Jackson Beck, Jack Mercer, Mae Questel, and Alan Swift. And this is, of course, a Famous Studios cartoon. And Cops' Tops is all about Olive Oyl becoming a police officer. And Popeye is kind of flabbergasted by this, and he's concerned as well for Olive Oyl's safety. So he kind of secretly follows her, and she's doing really well on the job. She's fighting the bad guys, and Popeye is obviously impressed by this. But then, as I said, these are spoilers for things that happen. Popeye actually ends up being imprisoned himself because of something he did. And Olive Oyl ends up getting into quite a bit of danger. And Popeye drills his way out of prison and goes to her rescue. And this is the bit that I didn't like, because I was thinking, here we have this amazing cartoon, well above its time, showing that we can have this woman in power. She's a successful police officer. She can do the job as well as any man. And then she needs to be rescued by a man. So they kind of ruined this beautiful message. But as I said, it is a Popeye cartoon, and the whole thing with Popeye cartoons is that at the 11th hour, he gets this incredible strength, usually from spinach, and then saves the day, rectifies the problem. So I don't know how they could have kept this message that Olive Oyl didn't need rescuing, while still allowing Popeye to do the rescuing. So I understand why it went the way it did, but ultimately we are watching a cartoon about a female police officer, and Popeye didn't think that they could do the job because they're a woman, and ultimately they get into trouble and need to be saved by Popeye. So it kind of ruined the beautiful message, but it is a Popeye cartoon, so what else could we have possibly expected? But it's still great to see Olive Oyl in this role. I think she suits the role really well. I love the design of her uniform. I love the colour palette for this. We have some really good sound effects and some great criminals. It's otherwise very well done. And I did enjoy it. But when I realised what was happening with Popeye rescuing her, I did kind of think, well, it was nice while it lasted. But at the end of it, I still enjoyed it. I still thought it was a pretty decent cartoon. And if you're a fan of Popeye and you haven't seen it, then Cops' Tops is one that I definitely recommend.